maybe I'll do it next year. I painted the dash. You can see the holes right there where that frame would go for the speaker. I painted it. It's nice. Rather than put the dash pad. A dash pad could be placed on there. Steering wheel's painted. The interior is all painted. Let's see. Seat covers were new, 4 years ago, and I think they've just been stored inside that whole time. The wipers work, 2 speeds. Lights all work. The squirter, the washer fluid squirter doesn't work. Clark's sells rebuild kits. I have not been able to make those work, so I just say you're out of luck with wiper systems. But the system's there anyway. You don't want to drive it in the rain anyway. So it's very quiet. The muffler is not new. It's kind of an older muffler, but the engine is actually very smooth and quiet. On a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the best for rattles, Corvair rattles, I would put this about an 8. A little bit of rattling coming from this area. The dash is pretty quiet and almost no squeaking from the body or the suspension. I didn't do anything to the suspension, including the shocks, but it seems to be pretty good. Sometimes Corvairs can be quite rattly. They can rattle from 100 different places. So that I think is pretty good. We'll do more later. I'm going to drive here. Show you a nice video here. This is going into Laguna. It's called Crystal Cove. So the speedometer is pretty accurate. It actually reads about 2 or 3 miles per hour slow, but it's quiet and smooth over that 25 miles per hour. It pretty easily does 65 on the freeway. I'm sure you could go much faster, but I usually don't go much faster than 65. I'm gonna take in a tour at the bottom of the car. So like I said, I gotta check the heads, but I'm pretty sure it's a 110 65 engine. So actually that's a little upgrade to the 64 engine because of the larger head gasket area. I've got the shrouds off because it's summertime. And looking down here, I mentioned shocks. The shocks look like they're older. Ride's nice. The ride's very nice. I have no reason to believe the shocks are not working. Shocks are shot. I have no reason to believe that. Got new hot air hoses on there. All the gaskets are new everywhere in the car. Let's go forward. That might be an opportunity to replace transmission mounts there. I think the main thing to see underneath the car here is that it really had no rust. I took this all down, even the bottom, I took it down to the metal. I probably never do that again, but it was in my early days, like 5-6 years ago. So you see this car's never been in an accident. I know because I took it down to the metal and I saw no evidence of accidents. It had dings. The only Bondo in this car is just very light Bondo for the dings. Nothing. Car is not sculpted in Bondo as some cars are. Let me get my light on here so you can see the floor pans. So floor pans are good. I have a new sending unit, probably the original gas tank, but a new sending unit. Well, new as of 4 or 5 years ago. I just put new rubber on the sway bar, or anti-sway bar, or torsion bar. I greased all 8. I should probably wipe off some of the grease, but I greased all of the 8 front end grease points, 6 on the steering part, and then 4 on the steering linkage, and then the ball joints upper and lower. They're not making any noise, which is good. I got the horns. Just looking at, I think the rust situation or lack thereof is what you want to focus in on. You could always put a new steering gearbox. Not too much play in the steering gearbox. It's a little better than average, I would say. I still have the mechanical fuel pump on there. It's been working, so I haven't had to replace it. You know, if you want to get fancy, you could put a new muffler. Although this one's pretty quiet. I like the way this one sounds. So there's the bottom of the car. I could take the. I think if you really were interested and got deeper into it, I could take the rocker panel covers off, and we could take a look and verify there's no bubbling there. So that's down below, and then I'll do a video next of a tour of the, once I get the car down, a tour of the top part of the car. Now, mostly down. Let's take a look at the engine. So it's an RH case. That's a 110, 65, maybe it's 66 as well, but late model case, 110. I couldn't read the numbers on the side here, but I'm pretty sure if I turned it around, I would see 319 distributor. This put a new back end of the alternator, one wire. I just did a one wire with the other wire going to the relay wire going to the relay up front, or the light up front. I've got it wired into a voltage regulator, but I'm just using it as the battery as a pole. Let's see. I think you can pretty much see everything on here right now. I was doing some testing on the transmission. Put that away. It's pretty clean. Rebuilt the transmission right before I sold it, or I'm sorry, the carburetors right before I sold it. Mechanical fuel pump still. It's working. I don't remember what the story, but it was made in the USA, so it must have been one of the better mechanical fuel pumps before the Chinese ones started. So yeah, pretty clean. And then the 64, I think has the dipstick for the differential. So let's shut this and get a close-up of the paint and the cosmetics. I would say it's definitely not concours. I would say even excellent if you use the Haggerty scale. It's approaching excellent, I would say. Not perfect, but really nice. Try to go somewhat slow. Everything's straight. My body work was pretty good. I painted this 4 years ago, and then I just sat in the garage, according to the gal that now owns it, and said she drove it 200 miles. So we'll go. Like I said, not perfect. A little touch-up. Chip touch up there. Let's get down here. Look at that. And I took this all down to the metal, the entire car, and this car's never been in an accident. She lost the keys, so I have to get a key. I have the latch, but I have to find a key for it. That's not always easy to do. And I'll open this up in a minute. The bright work is good. You can see that's not new. I actually have an NOS one of those, but that one's pretty good. And the bright work is not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. Like I said, I would call this a very nice driver, as opposed to just a driver. I could secure that a little better. I see. I mentioned before, if you got more serious, I could take the rockers off and make sure there's no rusting going on there. I'm going a little haphazardly on the paint here, so we'll go a little slower. Silver blue is the paint. Windshield's decent. It's not new. It has some scratches. I think someone polished it, because a couple of the scratch, you can't even hardly see them. But I would say it's probably a 7.5 to 8 out of 10 windshield. The rubbers, I think all the rubber in this car is new, because I took the windshield out because I painted the dash, and painted everything, and I took all the trim off when I painted. I still might have videos from that. But new vent window rubbers, and if you've ever done those, one, they're expensive, and two, it's not easy to do. Bit of a chore. New fuzz. This is all 4 years ago. New fuzzies, pretty much everything. New rubber here. New pillar rubbers. I think these rubbers are not new. Yeah, these are not new. They're not terrible. Clark sells those. They're not new, but pretty much horn works, gauges work. I'm not going to put the top up, but the top was new as well, and I think it just looks like the day it was installed 4 years ago. Seat covers are all new, taken down to the springs. Springs were good. Use the Clark's package. All of this stuff, this here, that over there, and the door panels were just recoated from, originally the color was like a cream color, and I just got saddle SEM vinyl coating and recoated those, including these, and these are in good shape. They're not coming apart. Dash is nice. The radio might work if it was hooked up, but I've never tried to hook it up. It's really there as a dummy radio. And the dash is nice. The carpet was new. It was a pretty complete. I think if I did all this work today with this is my little shop here in Brea, California, a little 60 Impala I'm doing some work on as well. There's a 67. I think if I charged what I would normally charge now to do what I've done on this car, it would probably approach 30 or 40,000. I think, with all the material and everything. Of course, out here in California, labor is more expensive. I'm actually cheap. I'm 125 an hour, and a lot of guys are at 200 an hour that are working on classic cars. The tonneau cover, or the boot, unfortunately, I think, pretty sure I told the girl I sold it to, but these Clark's snaps are really fragile. So if you just are careless, you'll break this part here off from there. And let's see, how many did she break? One. She broke 1, 2, 3. So 3 of what? 15 straps she broke, but it still stays on. It's perfectly good, but it's kind of a bummer that she was careless with that. So let me open up the front trunk. Okay, so we have the front trunk open, and all of this was taken down to the metal as well. A little stuff in here and there, but use the splatter, the splatter paint that they sell now. I don't think I did that dual mat. It works well, but I don't think I did that because, one, I don't ever remember using this kind of like gold pipe. I think she must have had that done after I sold her the car. And I can't remember ever having a dual master like that. Usually I just use the kind of the stock looking ones. But it works well, and then they painted it. And then, of course, whenever these master cylinders, if any brake fluid gets on there, then of course it just peels the paint. It's like paint remover. I do have the bottle right there. I also have I took it out because I resprayed the trunk a little bit. I have the jack and the jack tool. Now this, I've tried in the past to make these work with Clark's rebuild kit, the windshield wiper fluid, with no luck. So I've just kind of given up. And they sell replacements, and I don't think they fit correctly. That was a few years ago that I tried that, but anyway, nice trunk, no rust. Probably could get a couple of plastic or rubber plugs for that. And I do have a spare as well, sitting. It's an old one, but there's a spare right there that was in the trunk. I just took it out because it marks things up. So there's the trunk. Front trunk. The frunk. I think I showed on the video driving last night that the windshield wipers work. So it's really nice. I think I've driven it another 2 hours today. I just went and picked up some parts. And drives really nice. The engine's really smooth. I like it. So let me know. I thought this would be a little more effective than just taking a bunch of pictures. Carburetors were rebuilt. The compression on this engine is good. It's a 110 65, 66 110 engine with the RH case and 319, all the 110 stuff, and the 110 heads. And with the 110 would have the harmonic balancer, which is in good shape. Still in good shape. And compression's about 122 to 131 on all 6 of the cylinders. So that's a good mid-life to early life engine runs well.